give her one of the chips, make her go big, and I go big, and we both come out this motherfucker.
Gracias por ver la esquina de Jody. Thank you for watching Jody's Corner.
YouTube was good. It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. We got that Ant-Man movie review for you, baby. Yeah, we here. Before we get into the Ant-Man review, I want to let you guys know that this video is brought to you by Viewer Reviews. It's a website that you can go to and also use on your phone that basically pairs you up with movies that your certain reviewer already likes. For instance, say you're a Jody's Corner subscriber. You like the way I review movies. I keep it 100. You guys like my opinion. And you're like, oh, that Jody dude is pretty cool. You can follow me on Viewer Reviews, and you can see the other movies that I also like, and you're able to watch those movies as well. Because you basically are watching my channel and you like my taste in movies. So you automatically have that my opinion means something to you, right? Well, you guys were able to do that because you're subscribers of my channel. You've looked on YouTube, and you found me, and you're like, yeah, that guy knows his stuff. I'm going to subscribe. Viewer Reviews comes in as its own social network platform where you can go to the website, look at all of these lists of hundreds and thousands of movies, and you can say, oh, I like that. I like that movie. That movie's dope. And then based on the movies that you already personally like, the website will pair you with a movie reviewer who also likes most of the movies that you like. And they do it based on an algorithm that uses a percentage rate. So if you like, you're going to pick like 25 different movies that you're going to select. I like this, I like this, I like this. And off of that, it's going to pair you with a movie reviewer who also shares the same taste that you do in movies. And it's going to give you a percentage, like 85% or whatnot. And you're going to be like, hey, oh, this dude reviews movies and has the same taste in movies that I do. So it's like a social dating app for movie buffs and movie reviewers. It's dope. Ant-Man. Now, you guys know that I've been talking about, hey, man, I don't know about this Ant-Man, dog. I don't know what's up, man. Like, what's this point in the MCU? This was the only superhero film that I have not watched. And I know some of you guys were anticipating, like, oh, let's see what Jody thinks. Well, I've seen Ant-Man, and I'm going to say this. I liked Ant-Man, man. I liked the movie. I ain't going front. I liked Ant-Man. I would say that Ant-Man is a good movie. Now, it's got its flaws. But overall, here's this guy in Paul Rudd, the actor who I normally like. He's a very likable person. I understand why they cast him. He's funny, he's charismatic, he's just likable. Here's this guy, goes to prison on this term for doing Robin Hood type things. He gets a false deal, a raw deal. And this man, Hank Pym, who's been keeping his eye on him this whole time because of his hacking ability, he recruits him from prison and he asks him to basically do what he does best. Hack in, break into something. Basically, Hank Pym's past. He doesn't trust where his work is going with his protege. This man could take over the world with his technology, trying to solve Hank Pym's Pym particle. So there's this man who they call Yellow Jacket in this film, who is this crazy motherfucker, man. Y'all already know. Y'all seen the movie, so I don't have to review it as if you don't know. So I'm gonna go into spoilers. So basically, Ant-Man has to save the universe and the world. I never got a sense that the stakes were so dire that anything bad was going to happen. Like, for instance, like, let me talk about the things that I like. I like the lightheartedness of it. It didn't seem cheesy to me. It was like, it's like a satire almost. Like, yes, he's a lighthearted, jokey character, that's for sure. But it didn't come across like Guardians of the Galaxy did. Like, you know, like, freak, bro, this is just too much. Ant-Man was not too much. It was just enough. And I like, the best part about this film was when he was breaking into the house to try to first find that Ant-Man suit. When he was doing what he does, you know, performing heists in places. We only got really one scene of it. I really wanted more of it, to keep it 100 with you. But overall, I liked the lead. I liked Paul Rudd's character. His supporting cast of characters was a problem for me. I didn't like any of them. Michael Pena, I'm a fan of him. He was whack. He was a typical, hey, what's up, SA? Hey, yo, I'm a thug, criminal, slick guy. Get out of here. T.I., dumb black dude, get out of here, gangster. They were whack. I didn't even believe that they would really be friends in real life. So I kind of was like, I dismissed them off top. But I really liked Paul Rudd. The female who was going to be playing the Wasp in the new movie, she was nice and fire, real talk. But I liked her character because she was everything that Ant-Man was trying to be. Like, she could fight. She was smart. She knew how to manipulate the nanotechnology, the ants and stuff. And he was trying to be like her. But why was it that Hank Pym wouldn't use his own daughter instead of trying to recruit this thief, criminal, felon? And I didn't, and I knew why. Because they referenced the death of his wife. And I'm like, okay, your wife is gone. Okay, Hank Pym's wife is gone. Clearly she was like a wasp back in the day. And she died, and he didn't want that to happen to his daughter. You could see that stuff a mile away. And I use that example because that is riddled throughout this whole film. That's the number one issue with Ant-Man. It's predictable. You can see stuff coming a mile away. You can see it around the corner. It's like I had X-ray vision watching this movie. I knew what was going to happen and where. And it's surprising to me because even when you don't think that, oh, maybe the movie thinks that I don't get it, I still get it. Like when Yellow Jacket came to Hank Pym's house when his daughter was there. She was trying to hide because basically she was playing a double agent. She was playing close to his protege, the evil madman that he was, while she was really staying loyal to her father. But he paid a trip to the house while she was there. She was hiding and all that. And he pretended like he didn't know that she was there. The movie set it up in that scene like, okay, he doesn't know she's there. But all while I'm watching it, I'm like, he knows she's there and he's just playing. He's just playing like he doesn't know she's there. And sure enough, that was exactly the case. He was like, yeah, I knew you were there when I showed up. I'm like, okay, fine. We kind of got that. But the overall problem on top of that was this villain. I didn't like this guy that played Yellow Jacket. Yeah, he was weird and crazy and dangerous. But I never bought him as weird as a really truly weird, crazy, and dangerous cat. Because you turned your coworker for no reason into goop and you flushed him down the toilet. I'm like, all right, so that's you showing me that you're a bad guy. All right, I get it. But you turned someone into goop and you flushed it down the toilet. That shit is silly to me. I'm like, okay, so you're the bad guy. All right, we'll see. But he's going on all these temper tantrums. All of his motivations were mute in my eyes. Like, you're trying to solve the Pym particle, which you haven't. But you've found your own way in order to bring your own suit, the Yellow Jacket suit. Okay, that's what's up. So you found out a way to live up to your mentor, to stick it to Hank Pym. Look, I did it without you. Why did you push me to the side? Why did you take me in? And why did you push? Because and then his reason is Hank Pym's reason is because I saw too much of myself. So you saw an evil motherfucker? Is that what you're saying? So you couldn't tell that this student was way too eager, way too freaking menacing and evil from back then? Okay, I'll buy that. Let's go along for the ride. He discovers and finally gets a suit, the Yellow Jacket. And what is his plan? What is his overall mission? Not to give world dominance like a normal villain would do. Not to destroy the city. Not to destroy the world. Not to rule and conquer, which is what villains do. He did it to sell the technology to Hydra? For money? I'm like, bruh, you're already rich. You have your own technology. You're a big, huge technology building. You're a billionaire already. And you're doing all of this for money. And I'm like, this is stupid. I'm like, my God. I'm more with him going in alignment with actually wanting to kill Hank Pym. But it wasn't that. He wasn't trying to just kill Hank Pym. He wanted to prove that he could do it himself without Hank Pym's Pym particle. And that I was on board with. But when they revealed that his overall mission was to duplicate and make more of these Yellow Jackets to sell them to Hydra, it just takes all of that away. And it's like, you're not a villain. to me. You're just a hired gun. You're a henchman. You're a henchman for the real villain, Hydra, which was all in Winter Soldier. So that's boosting that film. So I didn't like the villain. I didn't like the predictability of the film. But oh man, the lighthearted moments were pretty good. The comedy was there. The comedic timing was there. I love the Wasp. Well, she's gonna be the Wasp. I loved her. I loved Ant-Man's character. Hank Pym himself, he kind of got the short end of the stick from Howard Stark. I liked how they tied in the original Iron Man stuff, like with Howard Stark and him, and even Howard Stark, the great Howard Stark. He couldn't even solve the Pym particle, and he's a freaking genius himself. That really pumped up Hank Pym for me. I'm like, all right, this dude's really smart, man. He's really capable, but he's a broken man. He's a man that's broken because he lost his wife into the, what did he call it? The negative zone, or subatomic, the subatomic zone. So I'm like, okay, so, oh God, I don't want to do this. The movie was great, you know what I'm saying, as far as the tone of it. And I didn't expect it to be serious. It's Ant-Man, of course. He jokes on himself. And I'm like, all right, I'm entertained. He has his daughter that he loves, and you're like, okay, yeah, I hope you get your daughter back, bro. And I'm like, yeah, he has this cop, has his wife, for some reason wants to keep her away from the father because of a crime that he did that wasn't really a crime, because he was actually being Robin Hood, taking from the evil people and giving it to and she didn't understand that for some reason. So she's the typical stay away from my daughter housewife with her new boyfriend, who's the macho tough guy cop, who they tied into the story. Cliche. But I'm like, okay, what this film relied on was its comedy. What it also relied on was its amazing transformations. Its technical prowess. Because this came out in like what, 2009, 2010, or 2011, something, 2010, 2011. All right, that's what's up. It was dope seeing the Ant-Man go small and big. It was dope seeing him in these little ant holes running with ants. It was dope and funny seeing him get flicked against metal and the metal dents. It was dope seeing him go from big, literally, to small. It was dope seeing them train him. Hey, look, you're going to have to learn how to go from a man size to miniature small size. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what the heck are you talking about? Why does he have to? And it made sense when I started to think about it. Like, okay, he's going to run through this keyhole. He's running to the door, and he has to get small to go through the keyhole and then come out big again. They're giving him missions that he has to do. I'm like, this is tight. I enjoyed that. Without all the fluff, without the cliches, without the predictability, without the terrible villain, without the stuff that we expect, at its core, it's a good film, and that is what invested me in the movie. That's the stuff I love most about Ant-Man. Training, learning how to control your powers, learning how to use them wisely, being smart, understanding that him being one with the nanotechnology about controlling the ants. That type of stuff is dope. And then, when you add the other stuff into it, it's like, this is unnecessary. I would have just liked a strict origin more for Ant-Man. Because as an origin, it didn't give you a lot of the origin meat that you would want. Now, I didn't read the comic book, so I don't know if Ant-Man in the comic book is this shallow. I want to think that he's deeper than this. Just a guy who went to prison, got busted out to break into another building, who just gets a suit gifted to him by an old man who used to wear this suit and is afraid of the world having the suit, but is entrusting it to a person who's in prison. I gotta believe there's more than that. So I wish they would have explored more than that. I wanted more Ant-Man. I'm not even gonna lie. I wanted more Ant-Man. I wanted Hank Pym, played by Michael Douglas. I wanted to see him flex his muscle a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Don't be such a pushover, broken old man. I would have loved to see a flashback with him in the original Ant-Man suit doing work. They showed something. On monitor where he was, in the suit doing a little, but I mean, actually him. Like they even showed, like they did it in Iron Man 3? No, they did it in Civil War, where they showed Robert Downey Jr. as a young kid with the technology. That shit is dope. They also did it with Kurt Russell in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. They showed a young Michael Douglas. That shit was tight. Like, dang, why you couldn't show him do some shit? I would have loved to see that, man. See why this legend is such a legend. Why this guy is who he is. You know, stuff like that. I wanted to see more stuff like that. But overall, I was happy, man. I was entertained. I saw it with my family. And we was in here. I was watching it with my son. My son loved it. He absolutely loved the film. And I understand how kids and family would come to see Ant-Man and have a good time. On that front alone, it gets a pass. It's a good film. It's entertaining. It's not a boring film at all. But when you want stakes and you want seriousness and you don't want the fluff, the predictability, the cliche, this film gives you a lot of that. And that's kind of what threw me off. Another thing that I didn't like about this film was it's also tied to the villain and the predictability and the cliche, but I want to give you another instance. Hank Pym kept mentioning the negative subatomic. You go subatomic and your existence will be gone and you'll be diminished and you'll disappear. Instantly when he said that, I knew that's exactly what happened to his wife. I don't know any Ant-Man knowledge. I don't know anything about the character, but I knew that's exactly how his wife died. It was that predictable. I said, okay, that's how your wife died, and that's why you don't want your daughter to be in the suit. Ding, ding, got it in the first 20 minutes. I'm like, oh. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And and I knew this was a device, a plot device that they put in there to show his heroism, and I knew they were going to use it for the final act. Because when he couldn't defeat Yellow Jacket, for some reason he couldn't defeat him, and you decided, of all ways to beat him, you decided that the only way to beat him is to sacrifice yourself and go subatomic. Essentially, he was killing himself because of what Hank Pym told him earlier in the film. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, okay, so the script is desperate to show us this subatomic, but they could have sold it better than this. They could have sold it better than he needs to slip through the crack of his suit, of Yellow Jacket's jet suit. I'm like, really? That's okay, fine. All right, I'm going. It was like that. And then he went subatomic, sure enough, and he's in this mystical place. I'm like, oh, okay, this is nice to see. We're here. And we're like, okay, how are you going to get out? You're special, right? You're going to get out. Everything's going to be fine. Not one point in this film where I thought that anything was going to go wrong. I knew he was going to be fine. I knew he was going to succeed. And I knew his daughter was going to be safe. She was never in danger. I knew everything was going to work out okay. And that's one of the issues that I have. But back to the subatomic. He had the device, the little quarter device, right? I think, and that's what he used to go big. And he, whoop, came out of it. Because no one has ever done it. But you did it, so that makes you special. Even though I'm Hank Pym, the real Ant-Man, but we'll take it. And I'm like, okay. So basically, you could have found the wife. She has, and I instantly thought about this. So the wife was floating in there somewhere, right? She's in there in her suit, floating, still alive. I'm sure she's still alive because in the negatives, I don't know what it's called. In the subatomic negative zone or wherever it is, you're out of space, you're out of time. So time, she's not dead, she's alive, she probably has, oxygen still, she's good, she's in there, she's not in time. So she's floating in there. So I'm thinking like, man, bruh, she's in her suit, because she went into the subatomic in her suit, so she should have a beacon. Shouldn't she have a tracker in there floating somewhere? Can't you go back in there subatomic? As soon as you came out, you should have went to Hank Pym. Hank, these little chip coins. Hey, give me 5 of them. I'll go back subatomic. We'll track her suit because I know there's an energy coming from it or a tracker that they can find it. Locate her. Give her one of the chips. Make her go big and I go big and we both come out this motherfucker. And I'm like, wow, okay, you could have just go find the wife. But they didn't get into that. I'm sure Ant-Man and the Wasp, the wife is coming back. And that's how they could do it. I instantly said, hey, why don't you go back in there and do it? But apparently they're probably going to do that in the sequel. So it's just a lot of things. This is the type of movie, and forgive me, because I look at all films this way, that are trying to take themselves seriously. And I consider Ant-Man that type of film. It's not a parody movie where it's like, hey, this is don't take it serious, like epic movie or scary movies or those terrible movies. I don't compare. It's not that. So it's a film in the MCU taking it so seriously, so I'm gonna judge it seriously. I'm gonna look at it seriously. I'm not gonna sit up here and just say, "Oh, well, that was cool," and just ignore all that shit. So, this is a movie that it would have been better served if I just was prepared to look at it a certain way. If you go and look at Ant-Man as just entertain me, just give me some lightheartedness and the story, cliches, whatever. Just entertain me. If that's what you're looking for and if that's what you're going into wanting, you're gonna be happy. But I didn't go into Ant-Man like that because so many people said, Jody, Ant-Man's good, bruh. It's really good, man. It's like a B+ movie. It's really good. It's one of the, some people said, my top 5 MCU movies, bruh. It's dope. Ant-Man, you gotta see Ant-Man. See Ant-Man. Ant-Man. They hyped it up so much for me. I'm like, all right, for sure. Let's see Ant-Man. And then I kind of got a little disappointed because it was there. Then I got hit with the cliches. I got hit with the predictability. I got hit with the mediocre script. The story was mediocre. I mean, but still, even with all that, I understand how people like Ant-Man because I liked Ant-Man. I had a good time watching it with my family, like I told you. So overall, I enjoyed this film. It's a good movie, and I'm willing to forgive this film for those things because it's introducing a character that's not really popular. Nobody don't know Ant-Man like that. Let's keep it 100. So for Ant-Man and the Wasp, I'm definitely not going to give it a pass because you need to show those stakes. You need to let go of those cliches. You need to let go of all that stuff because it was shaky bringing out an Ant-Man. Testing out Ant-Man, it's shaky because people don't know it. It could have failed. So I understand how Kevin Feige had to play that movie safe. How that movie was being played safe as possible. Ant-Man was a very safe movie. That's not going to exist now with Ant-Man and the Wasp. You can't play it safe with Ant-Man and the Wasp. You need to bring the big guns. You need to bring us a good story, a good script. You need to give us, let go of those cliches and those predictability moments. Give us a villain that's legit. We need to see Ant-Man and the Wasp come to the level of the rest of the MCU. The same way we look at Thor and Captain America and, I don't want to say Iron Man, but, those good movies. Those movies that are meant to be taken seriously and analyzed. That's what I want to see with Ant-Man and the Wasp. But as far as Ant-Man is concerned, I'm looking at the time it came out towards the first phase after the Avengers. I'm looking at that, and with all that said, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll give Ant-Man a B-. It's dope. It's tight. Yeah, that's my grade for Ant-Man. It was a good movie, man. I just think people hyped it up a little bit too much. They kind of gassed me. So when I came into it, I'm like, all right, what's going on? Let me see. I'm ready to see some hot fire. But, I was given goodness. I wish if people didn't hype me, I would have had a better outlook on this film. So I'm trying to imagine people when this film first came out, and they were like, Ant-Man, the trailer looked cool, but who the freak is it? I'll see it. All right, let's go see it. We'll go see it, honey. Pay for the ticket. You go sit down. And then you experience Ant-Man. It's going to be way more pleasurable than it was for me. Because it hit you a left hook you didn't expect, you didn't know what you were going to get, and you got hit with something decent. But now, years later, coming in to see it, it's kind of, the surprise factor is up. It's not there. So understand that my grade reflects on that as well. So I hope you guys like this movie review. Put down in the comment section what you guys think. Did you think Ant-Man is hyped up? Do you think it's appropriate? Do you think it's overhyped? Do you think it doesn't get enough hype? Where are you guys at with it? And if my review makes sense, subscribe to the channel for that real, honest opinion. And I'd like to thank, once again, Viewer Reviews for sponsoring this video. The link in the description for Viewer Reviews will be there, so you can click it and check out the site for yourself. It's dope. I'll see you guys over there. I'm Jody Joe, and I'm out this thing, man. Deuces.